Welcome to the Cambridge Financial Podcast with Bert Salazar, CEO at Cambridge Financial Partners, LLC. This podcast is all about tax-preferred retirement planning, economics, financial risk management, and achieving a risk-free and successful financial life. Now, your host, Bert Salazar. Bert Salazar. Bert Salazar.
Hey, good day, everyone. Welcome to the Bert Salazar Retirement Show. My name is Bert Salazar, and I'm going to be the host for all of you today, as I am every single week. I hope all of you are doing well and that you had a great weekend. I definitely had a great weekend with my family as well. So we've been talking quite a bit the last couple of weeks. I did a podcast 2 weeks ago called Is Pension Maximization Right for You? And there I kind of walked you through the different opportunities that were available in the marketplace regarding pension maximization. And basically what pension maximization is, you know, how do you have the ability to maximize the retirement income that you receive on an annual basis by creating straddles or combinations of different products that may be available in the marketplace. So that was a pretty good podcast. I did receive quite a few feedback and questions along those lines. And then last week, in addition to the Pension Maximization podcast, I did another podcast called All Financial Products Are Flawed. And that was a very good one as well, because what I did on that podcast was I kind of walked you through most of the major products that Americans are using today, whether you're close to retirement or not, and the fact that no financial instrument or product is perfect. So there are always flaws, and you have to understand the pluses and the minuses in order to try to limit the minuses while maximizing your pluses. So that was a pretty good podcast as well. And that one I received 19 questions and or feedback, so that was very, very good. So I appreciate all of you that take the time to ask any questions or make any comments and so forth. Today is episode 174. And what I want to do is I want to continue the sequence of retirement and pension maximization and the flaws of different products. But the title for this episode, which is episode 174, is The Benefits of Annuities in Retirement. And I would imagine most of you know what an annuity is. Some of you know a little bit more than others. But I can tell you, I get so many questions regarding annuities that I thought it would be important to kind of revisit some of the annuity issues and concerns as we continue to move forward into an exciting retirement life. So although I have already done a couple of podcasts in the past, probably in the last 6 to 9 months regarding annuities and distributions, pension distributions, and so forth, I want to kind of talk a little bit today about annuities and the benefits that annuities bring as a retirement tool to your entire retirement portfolio. So first question would be, well, why annuities? You know, why not other products available in the marketplace? Well, one of the main reasons is that annuities create a viable platform for retirement success. You know, I have been doing retirement audits for many, many years. Now I'm on my 35th year in the financial services industry. And over the last 15 years or so, I have just specialized in retirement distribution planning. And believe me, I've seen it all. And still to this day, I do see a lot of clients that come in, you know, with portfolios, or new clients that come in with portfolios of investments for retirements that do not contain any type of annuities, which is the type of product that is primarily designed for retirees or people that are getting closer and closer to retirement. Now, annuities are retirement driven. That means that these products were primarily designed for people in retirement because of some of the stuff that annuities do that we'll cover in this podcast. There are product guarantees in annuities. So many annuities in the marketplace provide guarantees that no other product will be able to. And those are some of the features and benefits of annuities, and I'll touch upon those in the next few minutes. Annuities also provide distribution flexibilities. You can distribute income from an annuity. Now, obviously, you have to be past the age of 59 and a half, because otherwise you may have to deal with penalties and fees and so forth. But and there are ways so you can take money out of an annuity prior to age 59 and a half without, having to pay any pre-distribution taxes from a taxable standpoint. But that would be for another day and another conversation. But annuities do have a tremendous amount of flexibility, and they also have distribution guarantees, because you can create any type of distribution process that you wish in order to make certain that you as an individual with a retirement annuity do not run out of money before you run out of life. And then you can also protect your surviving spouse and children and so forth if you so desire. So annuities are very convenient in retirement because they allow you to sleep better at night. If you have the ability to sleep better at night, then your retirement life is going to be much, much better than if you're waking up in the middle of the night, thinking about an investment, or whether if it went up or down, or are you going to run out of money in that investments and so forth, because then your retirement life is not going to be apropos as it should be, and that's something that we all need to work on. Now, from a retirement standpoint, and I'm just going to go into a little bit more details now, there's something called the 3 cycles of annuities. So you have, first of all, the accumulation stage, which is for some of you that do a lump sum. So let's say you put $100,000, $200,000, $500,000 into an annuity, and that would be the lump sum contribution that you're making for that annuity. So that would be the accumulation stage. Many other clients that I have, instead of doing a lump sum annuity contributions, they do annual annuity contributions. They contribute $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a year to annuities because they want to use that money for retirement at some point in time. So you have the accumulation stage, you have the distribution stage, you also have the annuitization stage, and this is something that is very interesting about annuities, because it's the only product available in the marketplace that allows for annuitization. And basically what annuitization means is that at some point in time in the future, when you get ready to retire, let's say you contributed $100,000 into an annuity, and now you have $200,000 ready available at the time of retirement. Now you're going to have choices. One choice is you can start taking money out of that annuity as you wish. Bert, send me $20,000 this year. Bert, send me $5,000 instead of $20,000 for the following year. Or don't send me anything for this year because I don't need the money. So there you as an individual investor or as an individual annuitant, you are controlling the distribution. But if you get to a certain point in your life where you don't want to have to deal with the hassle of managing your distributions, and you're also concerned about running out of money before you run out of life, you can opt in or opt out for choosing an annuitization. Meaning that if you have that same $200,000 and now you say to the insurance company, look, I'm married, I want to get a guaranteed income based on these $200,000 that I have with you. What can you do for me? So the insurance company is going to run some calculations based on your mortality age and that of your spouse, or perhaps if you choose a life income only annuity, that means that you're just going to get an annuity for yourself, then the insurance company is going to give you a rate. And then based on that rate, they're going to pay you a certain amount of money on an annual basis, guaranteed until the day you die. Now, if you take a survivor annuity, that means that not only are you protecting yourself against the potential of running out of money before you run out of life, but you're also protecting your surviving spouse by providing a survivor benefit. Yeah, the benefit is going to be less because now the insurance company has to do calculation on two lives instead of one life. But now you're going to have a guaranteed income, not only for your life, but also upon your passing, that guaranteed income will pass on to your surviving spouse until he or she dies. So annuities provide guarantees, and the guarantees are very important, and not necessarily the annuity itself, but the annuitization of the annuity is the one that provides the guarantees. And by the way, that income distribution is higher than whatever distribution you may get from any other investments, because most Americans, when they invest and they start taking money out for their retirement, they're living off the interest that that investment produces. In an annuity, you have the best of both worlds, because not only can you take interest out of the annuity and principal, but if you annuitize the contract, you're going to be receiving principal and interest at the same time. And it doesn't matter whether the insurance company runs out of that principal because you lived a long life. There is a guarantee on the part of the insurance company that they must continue to pay you that annuitization rate until the day you die. So even if the insurance company ran out of your money by age 88 years of age, and you lived until 105, they're going to have to continue to pay that income. So it provides a lot of peace of mind when it comes to distribution planning. So the three stages, as I just walked you through, just to re-emphasize these points, is the accumulation stage, where you're actually funding your annuity. The distribution stage, where you're now taking money out of that annuity, and you have the control and the flexibility to take whatever amounts you want on any given year and not take any money on the following year. And then the annuitization stage, which is the one that's going to provide that guaranteed income. Now, I have a lot of clients that have taken an annuitization stage, and I have other clients that have yet to enter into the annuitization stage because they don't feel it's necessary at this point in time. You don't have to annuitize an annuity if you don't want to. And as a matter of fact, you can create annuity straddles. The majority of the clients that I deal with have multiple annuities in their retirement arsenal. You know, they may have $100,000 in this type of annuity, another $100,000 somewhere, and $200,000. So they may have 4 or 5 different annuities, and what they can do is they can take 1 or 2 of those annuities and create an annuitization stream of income that they will never ever be able to outperform or run out of money. So that annuity, that annuitization of income is going to be paid every single year until the day they die. And then they have other annuities that they have not annuitized, but that those annuities provide flexibility, which is very important for them as well. I have other clients that create annuitization straddles. So they're going to retire, let's say they have 4 annuities. So they're going to retire at age 65. So they take one of their annuities and they annuitize that annuity to give them guaranteed income starting at age 65. And then they take the second annuity and they create a guaranteed annuitization income starting at age 70. And then they take the third annuity and they start that guaranteed annuitization income at age 75. And then the last annuity, they take that annuitization guaranteed income at age 80. Every time that you delay annuitizing a contract, now the income out of that contract is going to be greater. Why? Because you're getting older and you have a shorter lifespan to live. So you're able to create those straddles, and they help you offset inflation, because If you're at 65 and you're taking a guaranteed income, then when you hit 70, now you're going to get the second stage of that second annuity to kick in and give you additional or a much greater income because now you're 5 years older, and therefore you're going to be able to offset inflation and so forth. And then the last, which is the one that we talked about last week, was using life insurance as a way to protect the asset or protect the annuity. Because if you take a life income only annuity, that means that at the point in time that you pass away, there's nothing left for your surviving spouse if you have one. Well, if you insure that annuity with a guaranteed life insurance death benefit, then upon your death, that death benefit is going to pay out tax-free income, whatever it is that you insured that annuity for, and it's going to be paid out to your surviving spouse. And then he or she can go in the marketplace and purchase their own guaranteed annuity with that money and be able to have a guaranteed retirement life and not have to fear running out of money before he or she runs out of life. So, and there are many different ways that you can carve it out. I'm just giving you, some of the basics that I think are important for you to think about as you start preparing for your retirement life. Now, there are different types of annuities, but there are primarily two types. You have your immediate annuities and you have your deferred annuities. So let's say that you have $200,000. You, through your insurance agent or your broker, you go to an insurance company and you say, look, here's $200,000. I want to start receiving an income for life and I want to receive it right away. So if you're going to be receiving that income right away, then that is called an immediate annuity. Now, the second type of annuity is called a deferred annuity, which is the one that you're funding the annuity not to take income immediately, but to take income at some point in time in the future. It could be 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20, 30 years down the line. I just did a case with a very good client of mine, 40 years of age, and investing into annuities for retirement. Now she's not going to have to take money out of that annuity until age 65, but that's going to give her a 25-year accumulation growth in that annuity on a tax-deferred basis, and where the principal and the interest earned will also be protected and guaranteed once paid. So immediate and deferred annuity are the two major types of annuities in the marketplace. Now, once you start getting into the individual annuities, then you run into your fixed index annuities, your fixed annuities, your variable annuities. So a fixed annuity is basically the type of annuity that if you take $100,000 and you purchase a fixed annuity, that annuity company is going to be paying a fixed interest rate on that annuity every year. If it's a deferred annuity, that means that that interest rate that the insurance company is paying will be added on to your principal, and is going to allow that principal to continue to increase based on the return on that fixed annuity. Now, interest rates are fairly low today, so they're sensitive to interest rates. So you may not get a fairly high interest rate on your annuity. You may get a 2%, 2.5%, 3% if you can find one out there. But is fixed, is guaranteed. There's no volatility in that annuity. And for many investors, that's a good thing. You also have the variable annuities, which are basically the same $100,000 going into an annuity, but this one is variable. So this one has exposure to the value of the stock market through what is known as separate accounts. And they kind of mirror what the market does, and you have all kinds of different investments that you can make. The challenge with variable annuities is that A, you can lose principal because the annuity values depend on what the stock market does. So if the stock market drops 10, 15, 20%, then your annuity value may drop by that much. And the other drawback for variable annuities is the fact that their fees are fairly large, because not only do you have to pay an insurance fee, but also you have to pay a separate account money management fee, and some of them can be pretty hefty. So I very, very seldom, if ever, I did many years ago, recommend certain variable annuities in the marketplace depending on the age of the client, and they have fairly low fees, but I don't do that anymore. So you have the fixed annuity on one side of the spectrum, where it's guaranteed and the interest rates are fairly low. You have variable annuities on the other side of the spectrum, where there are no guarantees or very little to name any of them specifically. And there's also volatility and propensity for losses. And then you have something in the middle, which is called a fixed index annuity. And what a fixed index annuity does, it gives you features of a fixed annuity and features of a variable annuity, with one major difference. When you put that same $100,000 into a fixed index annuity, that principal is guaranteed by the insurance company, and that principal cannot diminish, cannot deplete, and cannot depreciate in value. Not only that, the interest that fixed index annuity earns on an annual basis will get added on, and then that becomes your new guarantee. So if a $100,000 annuity paid out a 5% interest benefit, so now you have $105,000 in that account, that $105,000 becomes the new guarantee. So you cannot go lower than $105,000. Now, the portion of the fixed index annuity that kind of mirrors the variable annuity is the fact that you're able to put money or make a mirror investment in the S&P 500, in the Russell 2000, in the NASDAQ 100, and you get to mirror those investments with the one caveat that if the market drops 10% on a given year, you're just not going to get any credit interest to your account, but you will remain at the 100,000, and you will not go below the 100,000 as you would have in a variable annuity. So the fixed index annuity allows you to play in both worlds. Play on the variable side of the world, where there may be a potential for higher growth depending on what those accounts are doing, but by the same token is protecting the viability and the importance of the guarantees, so your principal and the interest that is earned on your principal is guaranteed and you cannot lose it. So for many of my clients, I would say that right now, the vast majority of the clients that I run retirement portfolios with, they have the vast majority of their annuity portion of the portfolio in fixed index annuities, because they're able to enjoy the best of both worlds. And by the same token, they can generate guaranteed income, they can annuitize the contracts, they can do all of the different things that we've talked about regarding annuities, and they're able to do it in a way where now their principal is guaranteed. They can do annuitization and never have to worry about running out of money before they run out of life. They're able to partake in the market and hope to get a higher rate of return. And if they do so, they can benefit from that. And in worst case scenario, if the market drops, they don't lose anything. So it gives them a tremendous amount of flexibility, peace of mind, and also if you have annuities in your portfolio, you actually have a lot more leverage, because now that other portion of your retirement portfolio that does not have or that is not made up of annuities, now you have a lot more flexibility with that portion of the portfolio. You can take a little bit more risk. You can do distributions at different times for different reasons. So it does give you a tremendous amount of leverage. And then what many clients say, well, Bert, if I have, let's say, $1 million retirement portfolio, what percentage of my portfolio should be in retirement annuities? And usually every case is different, but if you want me to give you like a benchmark that you can use, is you should take your age from 100, and that portion should be in retirement annuities. So if you're 60 years of age, 60% of your portfolio of that $1 million or $600,000 should be in retirement annuities. It could be different types of retirement annuities, but in a retirement annuity portfolio. If you happen to be 70 years of age, then it should be 70%. So from the same $1 million, it should be $700,000, because now what you're doing is you're creating the balancing. And as you get older, remember, as you get older, you want less and less volatility in your portfolio, and you want a lot less risk than if you had been 30, 40, or 50 years of age. So your risk tolerance level changes every year as you get older. One of the challenges I see with new clients is that they really haven't done proper due diligence when it comes to risk management. And by not doing proper due diligence, then they're creating major challenges for themselves and their families because their portfolio is totally out of whack. So one of the things that I try to do with new clients is, figure out what it is that they have, where do they have it, what kind of volatility are they exposed to, what kind of risk management challenges are they exposed to, and what is the fee structure in what they're paying to manage that portfolio. And then my job is to create a volatility sensitive portfolio where now I can diminish volatility as much as I possibly can by creating guarantees and providing guaranteed income for life to my clients moving forward into retirement. See, if I were to ask you this final question, in retirement, what percentage of your income would you like to have guaranteed? Unless you say 100%, then you're not really thinking correctly. 100% of your income in retirement should be guaranteed. And the ways of generating that guaranteed income, but annuities create a major, major benefit for all of you when it comes to understanding retirement distribution planning. So I'm hoping that all of you will get to enjoy this podcast. As always, if you feel like you need to reach out to me, please call me at area code 786-766-1042. Let me repeat that, 786-766-1042. If you want to send me an email to Bert, B-E-R-T, at bertsalazar.com, BERTSALAZAR.com. And always remember that my goal for you and for your family is to kind of help you change the way that you see things, because when you change the way that you see things, the things that you see change. So once again, thanks for giving me a few minutes of your time, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.